Peace, peace, peace. What's going on, y'all? For anybody who joins me tonight and anybody who's watching this later on, let me just say peace and blessings. Ankh and Hotep. Uh, you know, Obrigado. Peace and blessings. Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum salam. However you greet. Shalom, however you greet. Glad you're here. I'm waiting to hop on Insight Timer. Give me a quick second. And then when I hop on Insight Timer, we can begin. And here we go. Peace, peace, peace. What's going on? How y'all doing tonight? I'm gonna send some positive energy out there to y'all. Let me know if you can see me. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if everything's okay. How's everybody doing? Hopefully you're doing good. Let me know if you can hear me. Okay, Christy. Christy, how are you today? How you feeling? Doing great. All right, cool, excellent. I'm glad to hear that. Glad to hear that. We're gonna wait till about the 7-minute mark and then we'll begin. So as y'all come in, just let me know how you're feeling. My day was pretty good. I was just tired, real tired today. Couldn't sleep very well last night. I worked yesterday, got off work, and I had to get up early today, but I ended up staying up real late last night. I got excited and I recorded a song. I wrote a song a long time ago. Matter of fact, I sang the song on a live stream I did. It was called Three Love Songs. And last night I said, let me see if I can sing it a little bit better than I did before. And so I recorded it on my computer over here. So I was up really late, and I ain't gonna lie, I'm really kind of like happy with the way it came out. I really love the sound. So I did it, recorded it, nice, sent it to a friend of mine, told him to make some music for me. He said he got me. So hopefully it'll come together, and I'll be able to let you guys hear it. I don't know if I can upload it to Insight Timer because it's not really a meditation, but I'll maybe play it one of these nights once we get it done. I think you guys will like it. Think you guys will like it. Hopefully. But it's a song that I did. I wrote a song called Be Your Stone, and I sang it for you guys a little while ago. Hopefully you guys get a chance to hear it. Let me light my candles. Let me get my little mini blowtorch. There we go. Who else we got in the building tonight? Come on in. Let me know how you're feeling, y'all. Give me some energy, y'all. Rita, what's up? Rita, how you feeling? Glad to see you. Thanks for coming. You heard the song? Oh, you heard the one that I put up there, Love Spell? What'd you think? Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm so proud of that song. It's such a simple song, though. Thank you, Rita. I appreciate that. I appreciate your kind words. Appreciate your kind words. It's such a simple song, but I was so happy I played the guitar on that song. I told everybody. I was sending everybody the link. I was like, check this out. I just played the guitar. Oh man. Okay, yeah, you did. You did leave a message. I responded to it. You correct. You did. You sure did. Yeah, I want to get. I want to do some more music. I want to do some more music, and I got my computer here so I can do more meditations. I'm excited. Really excited. I want to do some more meditations for you guys. Some more musical meditations. I want to get a real guitarist though. I gotta find somebody who plays in the style that I want. I'll find somebody who plays in the style that I want and do some real cool songs. I'll write the lyrics. I'll get a real singer, a real guitarist, and let them just rock out. That's my goal. That's my goal. When I used to do hip hop, that was my goal to be just a ghostwriter for somebody. Oh, thank you for listening, Rita. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. As I'm learning and improving as a musician, I definitely want to share, you know, what I create with you guys. Hopefully, you guys can find like a use for it. Hopefully, you guys can meditate to it. It's awesome. It's so much fun. I'm having fun. I love the creative process. The only thing is that once I start creating that night, I cannot sleep. I'm too wired. And last night I was up to probably like maybe 4. Had to get up at like 6. Oh my god, I was miserable all day, and my sons were all over me, climbing on me, wanting to go to the park, wanting to go to. There's a place in Washington D.C. not far from where I am, and my youngest son is really into like ninja movies and karate movies, so he calls it the ninja gift shop or the ninja store. He's like, let's go to the ninja store. So I got to take them there probably tomorrow. See if I can find some cool little karate stuff for them. They want swords. My oldest wanted it's like a big staff with like a blade on top of it. I'm like, you're not getting that, man. Yeah, you're right. The vibes are different at night. I love creating at night. I love creating at night, but I just don't have the free time. I loved it when I was young, when I used to be able to just go to the studio with my boys and hang out and record till late, go home, crash out. I can't do that no more. I got 2 little kids. At any given moment, they'll wake up in the middle of the night. Whenever I'm at my most tired, they wake up in the middle of the night, or they need something, or they want something, or it's like I gotta use my time wisely. That's a good idea. I actually had my son do a guided meditation for kids. I got to see if I can get him to redo it. Though. I want him to do it again. It was good. He did a really good job. He did a really good job, but the sound didn't come out quite right because he's very soft spoken. So I didn't adjust the microphone the way I should have. So I still have it, but it just didn't come out right. But I want to have him do it again because he did an excellent job. My oldest son, Divine, did an excellent job, and it was a guided meditation for like the younger ones for the kids. So I gotta get him to do it again. He loved it, and of course his younger brother is like, I want to do one too. So I gotta get them back over here. But they're asleep right now. They're in the other room sleeping. But we're getting close to the 7 minute mark, y'all. We're gonna hop on and get started momentarily. Let's get started. So I was thinking last week I did a live stream and I was talking about this download of information that I received, and it was kind of about time travel and about the science of time travel and astral projection. And we touched on a lot of subjects last week, and then of course this subject spilled over. Can't see my eyes with the glasses. You want to see my eyes? I'll take the glasses off if you feel more comfortable with my glasses off. That's cool. I just think I look tired. So yeah, last week after the live stream that I did, all those ideas kind of spilled over into the idea of manifestation, which is something that people talk about a lot. And I kind of wanted to discuss that a little bit as well because I wanted to look deeper into it myself and also kind of figure out ways that we can master it. All right, Debbie, thank you. Yeah, I wanted to look a little bit deeper into the concept of manifestation so that we can all utilize it and master it and understand kind of what it is. But I kind of wanted to explain it in a spiritual way, but also in a scientific way. So that's something that you guys will see as a theme with me. It's kind of like this tug of war between, well, not even a tug of war, but I try to balance science and mysticism. I don't want to be too mystical because I think sometimes people have a hard time grasping that. I don't want to be too scientific because a lot of people like the spiritual aspect and the spiritual element of things. So I want to talk about it a little bit. So the first time I ever heard the phrase or the term manifestation was in that movie, The Secret. I don't know if you guys saw that movie came out. I think it was 2004, 2005, and it made a really big impression on me. And what that movie was about how you could set intentions and manifest the reality you want, create the life that you want just by thinking in a certain way and having faith that these things that you desire will be drawn to you. And just by thinking these thoughts, you pull these things to you into your world. And so the movie kind of dealt with that a lot. That's the first time I ever heard that concept. Um, and I kind of wanted to focus a little bit more on get a clear idea what it is and how we can utilize that in our personal lives. Um, so manifestation is the idea that you can make your desires come into reality through focusing the mind. By focusing the mind, you can draw the things that you want to you. And is this real? And it's okay to ask that question because many of us believe in these things, but from time to time, I think it's good to challenge your own beliefs. So if you believe in manifestation, if you believe that's something that's real, absolutely great. I believe in it as well. But sometimes you got to challenge your ideas. So I had to sit today and do a lot of research, and I went over a lot of information, trying to, you know, look at it from a scientific as well as a spiritual perspective. And I just wanted to go a little bit more in depth about it. So this is what came to mind. And you guys know that I like to read. I'm kind of a science, kind of a nerd a little bit, right? Nothing wrong with that. I'm from the hood, but I'm a nerd, right? And there's a book I read years ago. I was probably 25. I was living on Martin Street in my hometown, Hartford, Connecticut. And I was up late one night sitting in my favorite chair, and I was reading a book called Dune Messiah by Frank Herbert, which is a very philosophically complex sci-fi novel. It was a revolution. That was a revolutionary series. And in Dune Messiah, the main character is a guy named Paul Atreides, who is called the Kwisatz Haderach. The Kwisatz Haderach is a kind of sci-fi chosen one. So Paul Atreides was the son of this powerful family. His father, Leto, was killed. He was taken from his royal home out into the desert on this planet called Arrakis. There's a whole desert planet called Arrakis, right? And he was taken by these people called the Fremen. And the Fremen trained him to gain control over his powers. And he ended up developing his powers to the point where he could see into the future. He could see into the future, and he would have these prescient dreams where he could see what was going to happen before it even happened. And because of that, people kind of saw him, the Fremen kind of saw him as a god. They saw him as divine. And if you read the book, it's kind of cool because there's a lot of quasi-Islamic references in there. A few references to Jesus Christ. You know, it's an interesting book, very interesting book. But anyhow, Paul Muad'Dib would have these intense visions of the future, and the visions became so repetitive and so intense that he kind of sort of memorized them. He began to see everything that was going to happen. He knew what was going to happen. It was embedded into his brain. So it got to the point where he almost memorized the future. He memorized what was going to happen before it even happened. And it got to the point where in the story, he was in the midst of a battle. He was set up, and boom, he was caught in an explosion. He lost both his eyes, so he was totally blind, right? So he's walking around totally blind, and everybody saw him as this powerful god. And for a moment, people's faith in him was shaken. But he started to walk around and move around, and even though his eyes were blown out of his skull, he could still see everything around him. He would walk up to people, and he would know who they were. He would know where a table was, know where the chair was. He would know where to step at. He was walking so he wouldn't stumble over stones. They were amazed by this. And that made him seem even more divine. What made him seem so divine is the fact that he memorized what was going to happen before it happened. And it got to the point where he memorized the future every step of the way. And there's a really interesting quote in the story where he says, "I live in an apocalyptic dream. My steps fit into it so precisely that I fear most of all I will grow bored reliving the thing so exactly." What is he saying? He's saying that he's seen this vision of the future so many times, it's like nothing to him. Why is this important in a conversation about manifestation? Well, because it's important because a major tool in manifestation is going to be uh, setting your intention and using visualization. You use visualization. Visualization is a very important technique because two things. One, when you are making a decision and you want to change your mind, a part of your brain gets activated called the frontal eye field, FEF. Why does that get activated? Because in the past, when we lived in a wilderness, we would look out in the world in front of us, and we would have to make rapid decisions based upon what we saw, right? So if you're gonna make a decision and you're trying to change your mind, we all know changing your mind can be very hard. But when you stimulate that part of the brain, the frontal eye field, and you visualize what you want to happen, that helps you to change your mind quickly so you won't get stuck in old habits, but also helps you to change your destiny. So by visualizing something and seeing it, you help yourself to make the neurological changes so that you can adapt to a new environment and create a new destiny for yourself. But also visualization is important because visualization is practice. It's practice. Now, Kobe Bryant, I just saw something about him. Rest in peace to Kobe Bryant. He was talking about how much he would train. He said that he would get up every day at 4 in the morning. Start training at 5, train from 5 to 7. Take a break, eat breakfast. Then be right back at training again by 11. Take a break. After 2 hours of training, eat lunch, then right back at it again. So all day, every day, he's training in 2 hour spurts throughout the entire day. That's why he played so well, because this brother was practicing so much. Now, visualization is a part of that practice. Muhammad Ali said that before he stepped into the ring, he would imagine himself fighting. That's why he was so victorious, because he would imagine himself fighting. That's mental practice. And what happens when you practice something over and over and over again? When you're learning something, it's here in the prefrontal cortex. This is the part of the brain that makes decisions, the part of the brain that's in charge of absorbing new information. That's the part of the brain that handles when something is new. But there's another part of your brain called the basal ganglia. The basal ganglia is where all of your habits go, right? So Muhammad Ali and Kobe Bryant would mentally train and mentally practice for these games so much that once they were in the game, they were able to play the game just off of muscle memory and off of the automatic pilot of the basal ganglia, because the basal ganglia is where all your automatic activities go. So for instance, if you uh brush your teeth every day, that's not something you have to consciously think about. You get up and just brush your teeth. The basal ganglia is doing that, right? When you tie your shoelace, none of us think about tying our shoelaces because we do it so much. So now the basal ganglia can take over. The basal ganglia is a part of the brain that uses a lot less energy than the prefrontal cortex. So your body, in order to save energy, will utilize the basal ganglia for all those habitual things that you have to do. Same thing with you creating your future and manifesting your future. You can actually create your future in your mind and visualize it and see it so many times that the future becomes a habit. Imagine that. Imagine making a habit of your future. Imagine memorizing your future. That sounds like a contradiction in terms, but imagine you actually live your future so much in your brain, you actually remember the future. So when you step out into the world, the basal ganglia takes over and you start to manifest the future and create the future, and you're doing it automatically. You're doing it automatically. So much of our time. Do I think dreams can help implement manifestation? Absolutely. And dreams are kind of interesting because dreams can actually influence how you think, right? They influence how you think, but they're also like a reflection of what's being put in there. So you could put positive thoughts into your mind as you're asleep and have those dreams, then the dreams will create like a cycle. It's almost like what they call a Ouroboros, the symbol of the snake biting its own tail. It's recreating and destroying itself at the same time. It's a cycle of recreation, right? Same thing with your dreams. So when I go to bed at night, I usually listen to something spiritual. I listen to something about God, listen to something about meditation, and I doze off. So I'm putting these thoughts into my subconscious mind, and then my thoughts absorb all this positivity, all the spirituality. What happens is that they create dreams. And then these dreams continue to feed my mind. So I'm feeding the mind 2 times. The dreams feed my mind, and the positivity feed my mind. So it's a cycle of positivity, creating my future, creating my destiny. Dreams make these things more powerful. Much of what we do is the result of subconscious activity. Once again, the basal ganglia. This is habitual. So when you start having dreams about things, that means it's planted so deeply into your unconscious mind, you're going to start to act in a way to make these things come true. That's what happens. I've had dreams when I was young where I would see certain things happening before they happen, and then they would happen. And a part of that, I believe, is possibly because I had the dream and started to act in a way where I made it come true. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to manifest our future and create our future by implementing these ideas so deeply into our mind, it becomes a part of who you are. How I'm moving my hands when I'm talking, I'm not even thinking about it. I'm moving my hands. This is just a habit. It's habitual. When I was young, I used to perform and do hip hop. So with hip hop, you had to have hand gestures with everything. I grabbed the microphone and bless. You know what I'm saying? I manifest. You know what I'm saying? You got to have hand gestures with everything. So I'm just this is just an automatic thing that I'm doing without thinking about it. That hip hop energy is taking over. Y'all see me bop sitting here every now and again, manipulating timelines. Exactly. And how do you manipulate the timeline? You manipulate the timeline by manipulating yourself. You got to feed the energy into yourself. So that's what we're talking about. Feeding these thoughts and feeding these things into your mind until you become the vessel that manipulates the timeline and shifts the timeline. You shift the timeline. You are the fulcrum and the focal point of the timeline. And you can create these things without even thinking about it because you visualized it so much. You saw it so much. It became a part of who you are. That's why people say what you get out of life is a reflection of you. If you're an individual who believes that you're not worthy of love and respect, then you're going to have issues in your relationships. You're going to bring that forth into reality because somewhere at some point in time it got embedded. That's that lack of self-esteem and that lack of self-respect got embedded into your basal ganglia. It became a part of your identity. Remember, I told you guys that a lot of times trauma creates it shifts your whole identity. We create our whole identity around trauma. And that's what happened with me and a lot of other individuals who have low self-esteem. You create your whole identity based upon this trauma. And so you go around thinking that you're not worthy, you're not worthy, you're not worthy. And then you manifest that in the world around you. It's embedded in your brain. So you can't help but to create what's already there. When you create your reality, you're creating your reality based upon the ideas that are embedded in the unconscious mind and embedded in the basal ganglia. So these habitual habits of self-destruction, low self-esteem, self-sabotage, they're creating your reality slowly but surely. And that brings us to our next part of manifestation is your beliefs. Like I said, I had a live stream years ago where I called it mirror theory. Mirror theory. Mirror theory is this theory that I have where I say your life is a reflection of you. So whatever you have within the core of you, it don't matter what you say. You can say whatever you want to say. I see a lot of women who say, "Oh, I'm a queen. I deserve the best man." And when they date scumbags because they don't really believe what they're talking about. You can talk all that queen stuff you want, but if you're dating scumbags, you still have an issue within yourself where you're manifesting a reality, and you can't lie to the mirror of reality. You can look at yourself in the mirror and try to lie. You can't lie. You look at yourself in the mirror. Your life is a mirror. Same thing with a lot of guys. I know a lot of guys who run around talking about, I'm looking for a good girl, I'm looking for a wife. And then you see these dudes running around with these women, and then they wonder why the women who they select and keep lying to them and breaking their heart and playing games with them. It's a reflection of what you believe about yourself. Your life, your reality is a reflection of what you believe. So your belief is of major consequence when it comes to manifesting your reality. So quite often you have to look at your life objectively. Objectively look at your life. Stop trying to paint a pretty picture of who you think you are, because your life is going to show you what you truly believe. You can say, I think I'm a great person. I'm a wonderful person. Look at your life. Look at your relationships. Look at your accomplishments. Look at your mistakes. Yeah, kings on the corner, same thing. Exact same thing. But you can't lie to the mirror of reality. You can't, no matter what you say. You can lie to people around you, but reality is only going to reflect who you are and what you truly believe. So it's very, very important that once again, the habit of certain thought processes, the habit of visualization will eventually change what you believe. And also changing your behavior will change what you believe as well. People with low self-esteem, we when I was young, I read some book that said positive affirmations will help you build self-esteem. I tried that, it never worked. Saying positive things about you is not going to change your opinion about things. What helped me was what they call self-efficacy. Self-efficacy is when you develop yourself so you can achieve goals. And once you achieve one small goal, that will start to shift your self-esteem. You feel better about yourself when you have the evidence in your life. When your world starts to reflect your true beliefs about yourself in a positive way, that empowers you. It empowers you. So it's very, very important that we truly be aware of who we are. And the first step of being aware of who you are is to take a real good look at your life and also to take responsibility. Because much of what we do, and I've seen it so many times, is always somebody else's fault. Relationship didn't work out, it's the other person's fault. Didn't have enough money, it's the other person's fault. This opportunity fell through, it's the other person's fault. And then you see these individuals where everywhere they go, they are the common denominator of all these situations, but it's always somebody else's fault. Somehow, some way, it wasn't their fault that things fell through. It wasn't their fault, but you're the only common denominator everywhere you go. Your life is reflecting who you truly are. Even though your conscious mind, you might think, you know what? It seems like everything's okay. Seems like I'm great. I feel confident. I feel good about myself. But if your life doesn't reflect that, that means there's something in your core belief system that needs to be altered. There's something deep down inside that needs to be addressed and changed. I met a friend of mine years ago. Haven't seen him in a while. My boy Jesus. Shout out to Jesus if he happened to see this. And he ended up in the hospital. Same way I ended up in the hospital. I told you guys my story about how I ended up in the hospital. I thought something was wrong with my heart, or I thought I was dying, and I was having panic attacks. He ended up in the hospital with the same thing, with anxiety. Doctor says, we looked at your body, we looked at the test results. Nothing is wrong with you physically. We assume that it must be anxiety or some kind of depression. And my friend was like, "Nah, everything's been okay. His conscious mind, everything seems cool." Well, look at how your body is responding to the situation around you. Look at what your body is doing. Your body is responding in a way that's so scary you got to go to the hospital. So that means on a core level, something's not quite right within you, that you feel some kind of fear and anxiety within you that you're not addressing. Don't tell me everything's okay and you feel great and you feel wonderful. You just came out the hospital, bro. Don't tell me everything is great and everything's wonderful and you falling apart. Don't tell me everything's great and everything's wonderful when you don't have the results that you want out of life. If you don't have the things that you want, how can everything be great and wonderful? So it's very important to me that we truly understand that our lives are a reflection of who we are. And at the core and root of who we are is our beliefs. And if you don't believe you deserve better, you won't get better. You can't manifest anything if you don't truly believe it. If you don't truly believe it, you can't manifest anything. The power of belief is so important. There's a book called The Biology of Belief. I think I showed you guys that book. The Biology of Belief talks about how individuals were able to heal their bodies simply by believing that they could. They were able to heal others basically because they believed that they could. And that's a part of it too, Rita. It's a very good point. Sometimes the traumas are normalized and people really believe that nothing is wrong. And that's why that's why I talk about mirror theory, because so many of us don't know that something is wrong. That's why sometimes you got to look at your life objectively. I think that's a really good point. Thank you for pointing that out, because that happens a lot as well. But if everything is okay, then why is it that every single time something good comes along and ends up being destroyed in your life? The things that you truly want never seem to be in reach. Your relationships never quite seem to work out. That's why you got to examine your life. Somebody said the unexamined life is not worth living, and I think that's an interesting point. We got to really examine our lives. We really have to examine our lives, because like I always say, there's a song that I wrote years ago, and one of the lyrics says, my mind's my my eyes are deceivers and my mind is a liar." So quite often your mind will just lie to you. That's why you got to look at things objectively sometimes. So you got to look at what's happening in your life personally sometimes. Exactly. You need the proper tools to examine life. That's correct. That's correct. But at the same time, I will say too that people need the proper tools to handle what they see in their life. But I think at the same time, it starts with just wanting to really see what's around you. That's the first step. You got to really want to see what's going on around you. And also another thing is, you got to stop ducking and dodging. We got to take responsibility for what's happening in our lives. When I always tell you guys, when me and my wife split up, I was depressed about it. I was sad about it. But then I had to really look at myself. And I didn't want to be one of those guys who's like blames his ex-wife or hates his ex-wife. I wanted to be realistic. I had to say, you know what, there's a lot of things I could have did better. I empowered myself by taking responsibility. And that's one of the things that people need to do. You can empower yourself by saying, yes, it's me. Correct. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And that's an interesting statement too, because in this instance, the teacher is you. So a lot of us don't even really know ourselves. When you're ready, you'll see who you really are. Good point. So your beliefs play a major role in manifestation. And then also with your beliefs, there's another aspect of it called synchronization. Synchronization, what I call broadening your field of attention. So a lot of times when you focus on something, when you embed an idea into your subconscious mind, you notice you start seeing it everywhere, right? When I first started studying certain things, I would see certain symbols everywhere I went. When I first started studying African spirituality, all of a sudden I started seeing these African symbols everywhere. And they were probably there the entire time, right? But my mind just was unaware of it. So it seemed like all of a sudden there was a synchronicity going on. And that synchronicity is real, but the synchronicity is also the result of me broadening my attention. Now that I set my mind and set my intention on something, all of a sudden I'm starting to see all the places and all the opportunities where these things are, right? Quite often what happens is when you get something in your life or you choose something in your life, you start seeing it everywhere. I never know. I got a new car, not a fancy car. It's a little Malibu that I got, right? And I like the car. It's a nice car, but I never noticed Malibus before. Never paid them no mind. Now I got a car. It's like a real funny color, like dark blue Malibu. Now I see these Malibus everywhere, everywhere I go. Like literally, I'll park my car and somebody will be right next to me with the exact same car. It's been happening to me constantly. I hop out my car. I see somebody hopping out their car. I'm like, oh, we got the same car. What's going on? We Malibu brothers, right? All of a sudden I'm seeing it everywhere. So as you get something in your life, you broaden your field of awareness. The same, and as you start seeing synchronicities, same thing if you choose something. I mean, when you make a choice to move forward, when you make a choice to achieve a particular goal, you start thinking about it and you start seeing it everywhere, right? How many times you said to yourself, I gotta go on a diet, gotta lose some weight. Then all of a sudden you go somewhere, you see a big old sign. That sign been there the whole time, but you broadened your field of awareness and you see this big sign that says gym membership, 25% off. See a big sign that says vegan diet plan, lose weight in 6 months. That sign probably been there for months, but because you broaden your field of awareness, all of a sudden you can see it now. It's amazing how many things around us we don't see because we really don't have certain things embedded in our mind. When you embed it in your mind, you start seeing it everywhere. And it's the same thing with your blessings. There's a guy I used to talk to on Facebook all the time. He used to always say, only God can see God. And I used to be baffled by that. What does that mean? But you have to awaken the divinity of yourself before you can recognize the divinity in the world around you. And all of a sudden you start seeing God in everything. That's why I used to read these old Hindu hymns. And there was one hymn I was reading where God was like, the sun rises in the morning and he talks about doing some ritual. He said, that's God. And you see the sun in the midday and he said, that's God. And he sees the sun going down in the evening, like that's God. And he said, sun goes down at night and that's God. I'm like, what are you talking about? And then I just realized he sees God everywhere. He awakened to God within himself. Same thing with love. You're looking for love, but you don't love yourself. You got to awaken it within yourself first. Only God can see God. Only love can see love. If you're a hateful person, or if you're an insecure person, or if you feel like you can't love or you can't trust nobody, that's why you don't have nobody. But once you calm yourself and heal within yourself, you'll attract other healed people. You'll start to attract people who are just like you. Your brain will broaden its field of awareness. All of a sudden, you see all these loving people everywhere you go. Yeah, you're right. We are the rays of that sun. Absolutely correct, Claire. That light that's shining inside of us. And then once you get that light shining inside of you, you'll see the light in others. You see that light in others. That's why there's a lot of people out there who've been hurt and they're angry and they're bitter. Exactly. We're trained to look outward for what's really inside us. Correct. But there's a lot of people out there who are angry and bitter, right? They're angry and they're bitter, and then they look around and they see, oh, everybody else is angry and bitter. Everybody else is evil. Everybody else is black-hearted. No, it's just you. And that's what you're seeing. You're seeing yourself reflected everywhere you turn. You're seeing yourself reflected everywhere you turn. If there's good in your heart, you're gonna see good everywhere you go. Even working with bad people, even working with challenging people, you'll still see good. Because the goodness is within you. Your life is going to reflect you. Your reaction to things is going to be a reflection of your core belief system. That's why I turn on social media and I see so much bitterness out there because you're looking at people who have not healed and they think the rest of the world is just as sick and toxic as they are. And you keep attracting these same kind of people into your life. And that's because of you, not because men are no good, not because women are no good. It's because of you. You need to heal because your life is a reflection of you. Your life is a reflection of your core belief system. And if you believe that you ain't good enough, or if you're toxic or wasted and messed up on the inside, then that's the kind of people you're gonna attract around you, because no sane person wants to be around somebody who's contaminated and contagious. So a major part of manifestation is to clean all of this out first. Whole brain living, I gotta check that out. Thank you, Dari. I gotta check it out. I'm definitely gonna look that up tonight. Let me write that down. Whole brain living. All right. So yeah, your whole life is a reflection of your belief system. So you look at your life, you'll see the truth. Because of mirror theory, you look at your life, you'll see the truth. No matter what. You think you're great and wonderful, but if your life is falling apart and getting worse every day, that means you gotta recalibrate yourself. If all your relationships fail, everywhere you go, it can't be everybody else. There's so many people that think that all their relationships keep failing because women are bad or because men are bad. That's insane. I mean, it's the weirdest thing. That's the weirdest thing I'm seeing on social media. It's the weirdest thing I'm seeing on social media. How you go around thinking everybody is bad? You think everybody's bad, but you're the only common denominator in all your relationships. What you talking about? That's what you manifesting. Manifestation just means you creating your reality based upon what? Based upon you. In Kabbalah, they teach that the supreme being, God, created the universe out of himself. Same thing with you. You create your universe out of yourself, and you reach within yourself, and you use the raw materials of self to build your life. And if you corrupt it on the inside, that's all you can do. That's all you can manifest. But if you build yourself on the inside to be a person of love and compassion and excellence, then you're going to build that in your life. You're going to take the raw materials of self and create the life that you want to live around you. And also something else, vibration. Vibration. Vibration is going to attract the people and the things that you want into your life. Now, I found something real interesting today when I was doing my research for this. Your thoughts are electrical signals, and these electrical signals create an electromagnetic field around your body, right? I remember when I was in my 20s, me and my boy, we used to have these little weird, strange adventures. We would both get drunk or get high, and then we would like take everybody, his girlfriend, his kid, his son, and we would go places and just do weird stuff. And I remember one time we was really kind of drunk. It was early too. It was like noon. we was already drunk. I think I was a little bit high, and there was this exhibit in this museum that we went to, or a science center that we went to, where you could sit at this table, right, and strap this thing on your head, and you could literally use the electromagnetic power of your brain to like move a ball down this little tube, like just with your thoughts, your thought activity. You could push the ball, right? Same thing with your life. Same thing with your life. The vibration of your electromagnetic field in your brain and your thoughts are going to attract or repel certain things around you. And your thoughts literally have power over reality. How do we know we have power over reality? Well, let's look at your body. When you think a negative thought, what happens? You increase the cortisol levels in your body. So that means your heart rate increases, your adrenaline increases, muscles get tense. You lose your appetite when you get nervous, or you get anxious about something. You lose your appetite. The prefrontal cortex shuts down. Basal ganglia takes over. Boom, you out of there. You're in fight, flight, or freeze mode, and there's not going to be a whole lot of thinking going on. When you think a thought about somebody who you're attracted to, what happens? Your body has a physical response to that thought, right? There's something else that happens when you think a particular thought. You can actually change your body, change the electromagnetic field around your body with intention. Now, we're talking about manifestation. A big part of a manifestation is in the mind and creating your intention. That's one of the things they say in the secret. You have to set your intention. And when you're in a deep meditation state, or when you are in a state where you're setting an intention in your mind, what happens is that you can increase the radiation levels from the electromagnetic field in your body. What does that mean? That means that there's ultra sensitive machines that can sense an increase of the light coming off of you, because all of us have light coming off of our bodies. That light will be increased when you focus your mind on one thing. In Buddhism, they call it what single pointed focus. Because throughout the entire day, our brains are all over the place. But if you focus your mind on one thing, what happens? You increase the electromagnetic field around your body and increase the light in your body. It says it in the Bible. It says, if thine eye be if thine eye be single, or thine eye be whole, thine whole body will be light. It blew my mind when I said that. I was like, oh, that's in the Bible. If thine eye be single, meaning your thoughts, your third eye, your intention is single, you focus on one thing, thine whole body will be light. You're actually changing the radiation frequency off of your body, so your body, the light of your body will increase. The power of your electromagnetic field will increase. Why is this important? It's important because other people can feel that. I went to a meditation class when I wanted to get certified to teach mindfulness, and they would have us sit and meditate with each other. So we were in this good sized kind of room, kind of close to each other. This is before COVID, so we could be close to each other, and we would sit in silence and meditate and focus our minds, and we could feel it. I was sitting across from this one woman, and she was sitting across from me, and I could feel the energy coming off of her body. I could feel it. It felt warm. It felt beautiful. Then there was another situation where it was a guy named Mike, really nice guy, but he had some kind of a condition, not sure what it was, but he had horrible insomnia, and he never slept. He was always physically fatigued, but he was a really great guy. And I remember we were meditating, and I was sending positive energy into his heart because something was wrong with his heart. So I'm sending a positive energy into his heart, but I didn't tell him that. And then afterward, they asked us how we felt, what did we experience, and he was like, "Yeah, I felt something in my heart, not sure what it was." And I told him, yeah, it's about me sending positive intentions for your heart so that you can get some rest. Right? So other people can sense the energy coming off of your body as the electromagnetic field around you becomes more powerful, it becomes more dynamic, and thy body becomes light. Thine eye is singular, thy body becomes light. So when you set in your intention, it changes the frequency of of the electromagnetic field around you. And people like the way that feels. That's why certain individuals, people just like being around them. When you set your mind on one thing, it just all of a sudden people start coming into your life left and right. They want to be around you. They want to sit with you. They want to talk with you. They're not even sure why. And you see this is something that constantly happens with individuals who reach a certain level of spiritual mastery, right? Muji talks about how after he came back from India, I don't know if you guys know who Muji is. Muji is a guy from Jamaica who became a meditation teacher, and he's like a spiritual master. And he has his own foundation and everything. And when Muji went to India, he studied, became a disciple, became an initiate, and then came back over here. And he was, working just selling incense on the street corner, selling colognes and stuff on the street corner. And people would just come to him all of a sudden, just be around him, just come and just stand around him. Same thing with Eckhart Tolle. Eckhart Tolle went through a mental breakdown and ended up homeless, just sitting in the park. And for some reason, people would just be attracted to him, just want to sit down next to him and talk to him. And you'll notice that too, as you're doing your healing work, people will just be drawn to you. If you set your mind on one thing, it changes the frequency of the electromagnetic field around your body. People can feel it. They can feel your vibe. It's like a warm ray of sunlight. If thine eye be single, thy body be thine whole body will be light. People are going to be drawn to that light and that warmth of that you have within yourself when you open up your mind and focus your mind, and that helps you manifest because it creates social opportunities, it creates financial opportunities, it creates romantic opportunities. Love boat, exciting and new. So you want a relationship and set your intention upon having a positive relationship. Oh, I didn't know that. Rest in peace to his sister. Wow. Jeez. Yeah. A lot of spiritual masters have really sad stories. That's a really sad story. Jeez. Rest in peace to his sister. Yeah, but going back to what we were saying, yeah, you can change, you can increase the electromagnetic field around you, increase the light of your body, increase the warmth in your body, the physical warmth and temperature of your body can be increased, and people will be drawn to that. You'll create social situations. You'll create romantic situations, financial situations, just by setting the intention. But it can't be just I'm going to set the intention one day and I'm done. As I was saying before, it has to be every single day. Every single day. And when you set those intentions, a lot of times what happens in your brain is what happens. It becomes like a hypnosis type thing. You enter into a trance, a state of deep meditation, even while you're working, even while you're walking. You're in a deep trance of meditation. Life itself can be a meditation. And then when you're in that deep trance of meditation, while you're moving, while you're walking, you're going to be drawing people to you. And that's going to manifest situations for you. Before you even walk into the room, your presence will be felt. The intention will be set, not only for you, but for everybody around you. But it has to be a daily thing that you're doing. Like for instance, you may meditate every single day, set your intentions every single day. I remember before COVID messed up my plans. But before COVID, I remember my intention was to start my own business and grow my business. And I remember at one point in time, I would just go places and just stumble over clients. Just go places and just people just give me money. Oh yeah, come work for us, and you know what I mean. My intention was set, and at one point in time, we were having you know, clients were kind of flowing a little bit. Not saying I had as many as I wanted because I wanted a whole lot, but at that beginning phase, it was kind of easy to have customers. Things got harder when COVID hit and shut down my business in a lot of ways. I'm still trying to build it back up from that. But I just remember I won't say that it was easy, but I remember like the response was very, very favorable. Why? I set my intentions. And I was in a deep meditation trance state every minute out of the day because I was so focused on what I wanted. My body was light, and I would pray too. Before I did every single class, I would go in the bathroom. I splash some cool water on my face. I tell God, I don't want to shine. I just want your light to shine through me. And now I'm looking back on it, seeing how relevant that choice of words were. Those words are very, very relevant to what I'm saying right now. See how it all comes back together, right? So yeah, we definitely want to make sure we set our intentions going into any situation. We want to broaden our awareness so that we will be aware of opportunities that are being set for us. And we want to make sure that we're aware of who we are on the inside, because whatever's on the inside is going to be reflected in our lives around us. And we want to make sure that we believe. You want to be a true believer. A true believer. And I've met very few true believers in my life. I was raised as a Pentecostal Christian, and I took it very seriously, even as a 9-year-old boy. And it blew my mind how few true believers there were. And then I became a Jehovah's Witness, and it blew my mind how few true believers there truly were. And then after that, I kind of gave up on joining things. But I studied a good amount of spiritual systems over the years, and I find value in all of them. But in my heart and in my soul, I'm a true believer. That don't mean I follow a religion, but I'm a true believer. And so my biggest obstacle over the years has been maintaining my ability to be a true believer in me. Honestly, now I'm glad I had this conversation with y'all because now I'm seeing something about myself. There's been times where I wasn't a true believer in me. And that's why I haven't been able to manifest things the way I want. I manifested a few things. I wanted to find a workspace to teach where I could, give classes again. I did find that. Glad I manifested that. But a lot of the things that I wanted haven't manifested the way I wanted because I was having a hard time continuing to believe in me. I'm glad we're talking about this. Mirror theory. Everything I said to you not only applies to y'all, it applies to me too. Time for me to look within myself and resurrect the true love and the true intentions within myself. Because I wanna have more success for the sake of my family, have more success for the sake of those around me. You're right, Rita. Yeah, I should. I'm going to. We're gonna make this happen. And I can't wait. I can't wait till all of us engage in this process of manifestation. So before I go, because we get into that point where I'm gonna start wrapping up. Before I go, tell me what's something you guys want to manifest. Let's manifest it together. Give me something you want to manifest. I see 48 people here. I want all 48 of y'all to give me one thing you want to manifest. Type it in the chat. Let's think about what we want to manifest. I want to manifest. I'm going to be teaching a class in October. I want to manifest that class is successful and a good amount of people will benefit from it. What's something y'all want to manifest? Can y'all share with me? Partner, okay. Christy, love, okay. What else? Who else want to share? Write some poems, Jennifer. Okay, you can write some poems. Awesome. Who else want to share? Jennifer, when was the last time you wrote a poem? If you don't mind me asking. A creative set piece at home, not just my. Okay, okay, got you. Art practice. Okay, for a poem 2 months ago. Okay, 2 months ago is not that bad to do DJing as a hobby. Okay, Dari. Okay. Now, Dari, do you do DJing? Do you have the equipment? Do you DJ like online anywhere? Have you had practice, or are you totally new to it? Passing your solicitor's qualification exam next year. Good luck with that, TP. You can do it. You can definitely manifest that. You can definitely manifest that. This smells real good, by the way. You got scared? Okay. Yeah, well, it's understandable because it may have been something new. It may have been the fact that, DJing is a lot of fun, I think. But then you come across people like me. When I was young, I remember me and my boys, we used to demand everywhere we went, we would just demand to hear Wu-Tang Clan, no matter where I was at. So if it was a DJ, we used to rush the DJ immediately as soon as we walked in and tell him, yo, play some Wu-Tang. Play some Wu-Tang. I don't care where we at. We could be at a fine luncheon. We could be at a wedding. I do not care. Matter of fact, at my wedding, I told the DJ I want to hear nothing but Wu-Tang. So I remember one time it was one dude. He was real scared. He was like, I can't play Wu Tang Clan because the music too aggressive. It's too rowdy. I don't want nobody to fight. So me and my boys was like, yo, he gonna play some Wu Tang one way or another. I don't care. So we came up with a plan. My boy Ant came up with a plan where we would all just take turns harassing him. We just go in a cycle all night. So my boys there go chill, hang out, chase girls, have drinks. I'm next to the DJ like, yo, play some Wu Tang. Come on, play some Wu Tang. Play some Wu Tang. Then my boy Water came to me on the shoulder. Yeah, we shifted. You know what I mean? So Water was there yelling at him. I seen Water just yelling at the dude, play some Wu Tang. Then finally, my boy Ant, it was his turn. And Ant is a master manipulator. He's probably one of the smart. He's definitely a stone cold genius, master manipulator. Ant was over there in the dude face for like 20 minutes talking. And then finally the dude broke down. Like he looked like he was about to cry. He's like, all right, I'll play some Wu Tang, but you gotta wait till the end of the night and then I'll play it right before the club closed because I don't want no fighting. So finally the guy played some Wu Tang and the whole crowd went nuts. Everybody was excited. So he got excited. He started playing more Wu Tang. But I can only imagine his anxiety the whole time. He was so nervous, poor guy. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Market seemed saturated. Yeah, we finally did, and then he realized we were right. The whole because I'm from Hartford, Connecticut. Hartford, Connecticut. We love Wu Tang, Mob Deep. There's a lot of artists from New York that we loved at that time. I knew once he played Wu Tang, everybody was gonna be excited. As long as you picked the right song, and we were right. But anyhow, this is a good conversation, y'all, and thank y'all for sharing what you want to manifest. So what we gonna do tonight? I want you guys to yeah, just set your intentions and meditate on it. Let your whole body be light. Set your intentions, let your body be light, and watch how things start to roll in. It'll be easier once you create the right environment within yourself where these dreams can come true. Your mind and your body are a garden. All you gotta do is plant the seeds, and if the soil is healthy, it'll blossom and bloom. It's only when you have weak soil, malnourished soil, dry soil, that's when you don't see the seeds bloom. Thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And you will break your writer's block and you will write something amazing. Also, guys, if you get a chance, listen to the meditation I put up. One is called "Letter to My Mind." The other one is called "Love Spell." They're both new meditations I put up. I actually played guitar on them. I played guitar on both of them, and I sang on one of them. I sang on the song "Love Spell," which I wanted to be a romantic meditation. So if you want to manifest love, throw that on a groove to that and let me know what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts. If you guys like the music that I create, I'll definitely create more. Um, I definitely want to start incorporating more of my musical creative gifts into what I do as far as meditation. So if you guys like it, let me know. Please listen to it. Leave me a review. Let me know your thoughts. If enough of you guys seem to enjoy it, then I'll definitely create more stuff. If you feel like it's okay, then maybe I'll take a break and just develop myself more as an artist. But I was so proud of myself when I played that guitar and sang that song. So yeah, let me know what you think. That sounds like fun, Clay. Yeah, I wish I had more experiences like that when I was a kid growing up. I had a lot of fun growing up, but I look back and realize I was kind of antisocial. I was kind of a non-conformist, so I missed out on a lot of fun stuff like that, trying to, you know, do the opposite of what everybody else was doing. Weird, weird habit. But anyhow, thank y'all for joining. Thank y'all for sharing. Thank y'all for being here. I love you guys to death and I love you to life. I'm gonna see y'all next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. And yeah, if there's anything you guys need from me, don't hesitate to request. Please check out the new meditation, Love Spell, and Letter to My Mind. Share your thoughts, leave a review, and I will talk to y'all tomorrow. I mean, next week, excuse me. Talk to y'all next week, Wednesday, 11/11. All right. Peace. This thing never ends.